Right, so you can let me know.
This call is now being recorded.
Okay, so here I can all right. So good evening once again, everyone. I am Onifade Ifeoluwa Emmanuel, though some people kind of call me design ninja, right? So, but my real name, the one my parents gave to me is Ifeoluwa Emmanuel, and my surname is Onifade. So I am a low code and a product designer also. All right. So I kind of wear I kind of wear a lot of hats. So sometimes I'm sitting in the position of a product manager, other time the position of a developer, and sometimes the position of a product designer. And one of the reasons why I am hype about today's class is the fact that I've worked with diverse team over the years, right? I think I've been in the tech space for close to a decade now, and in I think product space for like 4 or 5 years now, right? And one thing I've noticed is the fact that no matter how big or how unique your product is, right? No matter how innovative what you are building is, if you are not building with the right team, or if there is no right management or great synergy between your team members, right? Then the failure of the product is just like at 70%, right? So it's just like in the Bible when they, I think, I don't know, who, they are building this, is he, they are trying to build this building that they said they want to reach heaven, right? What God did to them was that he kind of give them diverse language, right? And they were not able to understand themselves better. So there's no thank you, Babel. So they did not understand each other again. So they have to stop the project halfway. So that's just exactly how it apply when it comes to product building also. If you want to spoil a product or make it to be paused or dumped, just cause confusion within the team that is building that product, and that will just be the end of the life cycle of that particular product. So, and as a PM, right, you kind of should I call you guys the arts, right? Should I call you the art of the team? Because basically you revolve around the whole organization, right? The whole organization. So that's why this topic is something that really excites me. And there are a lot of things I would love to say to you, PM guys. Though I'm also a PM guy, right? But tonight I don't want to identify as a PM guy. I want to identify as a product designer or a low code web developer. So I think I will go with those two. But tonight I don't want to. I'm not a product manager for tonight, right? I'm just a product designer and a low code web developer, so that I'll be able to talk directly with you guys, right? And then we can have a nice section to a nice section together, right? So our topic for today, that's building bridges, right? Not barrier. How product managers can forge strong team connection. Right? And then I had one team test here, I guess, that said or says try the embrace peace once in a while, right? Not be every day you go the cook violence, right? Violence cooking is not good for product manager. You can leave violence cooking for developers, right? You can leave for designer, but for you as a PM, you cannot be cooking violence always, right? You should have the ability to manage violence, but not be the one that will be cooking the violence. So without further ado, let's dive right into it. So good evening once again from everyone, and I hope to have an amazing section with you guys tonight. So thank you for having me. So right. All right. So let's just get started. So as a product design manager, right, you are not just responsible for driving the product forward, right? You are the glue that holds the team together, from developers and designers to marketing and sales, right? Fostering strong connection with your teammates is essential for collaboration, innovation, and overall product success. So I have the picture of one beautiful lady on the left, on my left here, and I have the picture of one handsome dude on the right with a heart symbol, right? So I used to tell people, students when I'm talking to them that as a PM, your team member are just like your partner in relationship, right? They're your boyfriend, they're your girlfriend. You people will fight, you people have arguments, but the bottom line is that you should be in control every time, right? You should be in control every time. Make sure that you are managing them effectively, because the way you manage them is what will determine how long you guys are going to stay together as partner in the relationship, right? So let's move ahead. So, however, right? However, can two work together except they agree, right? Can two work together except they agree? So it's possible, near impossible for two people to stay or cohabitate together without them agreeing, right? Or choosing to work together in harmony, right? Two or more people cannot effectively work together unless they are in agreement on the goals and direction of their work, right? So it's just like bringing two people that hate each other and expect them to achieve something. It's even better that one person is working on that stuff than two people that are at loggerheads to be working on a product together, right? So that's why the synergy and the communication or the one togetherness is very important when you are building a team. So tonight we will explore key strategies to help us, sorry, to help you and I build meaningful relationship with our team, ensuring alignment, motivation, and a culture of teamwork. Whether you are working in office or remotely, this insight will help you bridge gaps, break down silos, and create an environment where everyone thrives. So, I have 7 strategies or points that I've tested personally while building my team at Sportrex. So, aside from Sportrex, I also work as the product lead for Flex to Ride, a ride hailing platform that is set to launch in Lagos by next month, by God's grace, and some other projects which I basically manage as the product manager. So everything we'll be discussing tonight is just real life experience, like these just things that I've learned along the way managing products for people and also building products for people and with people. So let's just get right into it. So number one point, this all these points seems like something that is very simple and direct, but if you can just implement them in the right way and in the right proportion, then you will be good with your team, right? So the first point here is that build trust and rapport, right? You have to build a kind of trust system within your team. So PM always have this behavior, I don't know how to call it, where when they are working in a team, they have some of them kind of give this aura of boss. So they kind of give aura of being the boss, right? So there's no like man to man. So yeah, I will use or let's say woman to woman or man to one, whichever. So there's no like this kind of interpersonal relationship between the PM and the team member, right? So under build trust and rapport, I said be approachable and transparent. Keep open communication and share both success and failure. So for this point, right, what I mean about being approachable and transparent in this sense is the fact that if you're working within a team and you are the kind of PM that your team member can't even approach you, right? They can't even point out anything to you. You just maybe take it up, or your own sales is always the final. You are just more like a boss, right? You are not a boss to them, right? All of them are team members, even though you are the product manager. But you guys all are team members and you are meant to work hand in hand to get things done. So You have to kind of keep a kind of open communication where there is feedbacks, right, to everything you are doing. As you are giving, you are getting, right? It's not just a kind of one-way communication where you are just dishing out stuff to people, dishing out stuff to people, and you are not approachable, you are not transparent with the whole process, right? I also said understand their roles and challenge. Show genuine interest in the work of engineer, designer, and marketer. So let me explain this one further. So for you to be able to manage someone effectively, right, you have to understand that person, right? You have to understand their roles, and you also have to understand the challenge. So I don't know where, but someone was saying something about as PM, what are the other skills you need to add or something like that. I was in a lot of group this week because I did not really do much, right? So I had free time on my hand. So I don't know which group, but the best way to manage or to be a good product manager is the fact that you understand the roles of your teammates, right? So you know you work with a product developer, a software developer. So under software development, we have the front-end developers and we have the back-end developers. These two sets of people have different problems and challenges, and their roles are different, right? We have the product designer. If we're in a kind of robust team, we have the UX designers who focus on the user experience alone, and we have the user interface designer who focus on the user interface, what you can see basically, right? So if you don't understand these people's roles, right, and the challenges that are involved in this particular role, it will be very hard for you to manage this set of people, right? So you have to first show a kind of genuine interest in the work of your engineers, right? Try to understand what they are doing. It's not like you are trying to be a front-end developer, be a back-end developer, but having a basic idea of what their work entails will not hurt, right? So even though you're a product manager, right, there's nothing bad in you taking a crash course on front-end development, back-end development, product design, right, content writing, or whatever the case might be. It's not like an in-depth course. It's just a kind of crash course. So in crash course, they just kind of teach you the basics of this thing, how it functions, the terminologies that are involved, right? So in that way, when you are conversing with them, when you are communicating with them, you'll be communicating with them from a place of understanding, right? So now you understand that, okay, front-end developer now, they work with HTML, CSS. There are some challenges when they are trying to implement some UIs, this and that. So that one now, it will kind of help the empathy to understand that, okay, this thing, so it will just like, just give them a design. You'll be like, okay, get this thing done in one day. But if you understand that this thing that you're looking at is not something that can be done in one day, so you kind of have this kind of empathy towards them, and you'll be able to manage them better, right? So the next one I said, support their growth, acknowledge contribution, and help them succeed, right? You have to acknowledge contribution, right? There's something called feedback and comments. It is very important in everything. It is utmost important in everything that you give feedback, right? You acknowledge their work. So maybe your teammates have delivered on a particular task, and you've checked it done. So don't just stop there, right? If you guys are using Slack or you're using WhatsApp or whichever platform or a group chat, just comment them. Oh, maybe the person's name is Chooks. You'd be like, oh, Chooks, great work, nice work. I like what you did to the work, and I like how fast you deliver. So now, why do you do this? This is the reason why you do this. If you are doing this when they do something that is right, you're always commending them, you're always giving positive feedbacks, right? It won't leave a kind of mark in them when you give a negative feedback when they did not deliver up to expectation, right? They just see it as, okay, he or she is just giving feedback. But in a situation where it is only when they did not work up to task or up to expectation, that is the only time that you are always like giving feedback. So it will be giving this kind of toxic work environment that this PM self, his own is too much or our own is too much, right? He never says anything good when he deliver. right? When you deliver appropriately. But it is always when you do something wrong, that's when you now carry it for head, and it's like, that would be a kind of big issue. But when if they do something right, you're always commending them, nice work, great job. Like we are all human beings, right? And you should deal with people as human. Everybody likes it when they are being hailed, like make their head swell up, right? Make them happy, make them feel good about themselves or the work they just deliver. So indirectly, you are creating an impression of trust, right? So they know that whatever make you say that, oh, this thing that you did is not right, then truly that thing is not right. But in a situation where you never give, like you don't give any feedback, you always come when there's issue and you start like lambasting everyone and you start saying a lot of things. So they don't feel good or feel like safe or have any trust working with you. And this will also be affecting your work because they will not be giving their best, right? So I don't know. Hope I'm not too fast, please.
No, you're not.
No, you're not too fast.
Carry on, carry on, carry on.
Hello, can we hear me? All right, so please hope I'm not too fast. NEPA just took their lights.
Spot on. You're not too fast, sir.
Okay, thank you. All right, so let's continue. All right, so to the next point, we have communicate effectively, right? Communicate effectively. So you are working with a team of people, right? And communication is very important, right? It is very important. It's of utmost importance. So you have to adapt your communication style. So we are all human beings, and there's this thing about human psychology, right? We all like it when we are being approached the right way, right? It leaves this kind of lasting impression with us. And that's why managing people can be so dicey sometimes, because you have to make sure that you are doing everything in the right proportion. You should not be too strict, right? You should not be too lenient as a PM. You just need to kind of find a balance, right? In everything you are doing, right? So you have to adapt your communication skill. So for example, engineers prefer clarity. What do I mean by clarity? So when you are writing your PRD for engineers, or when you are communicating the functionality to an engineer just wants something like, okay, functionality A should send blah 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 blah. Work this way. Direct communication, very clear and concise. They don't really need to start cracking their brain to understand everything that you write or wrote down in your PRD or whatever you're communicating with them. They really love clarity. This is what we are doing. This thing should function like this. This is how it should function. They like it when you give them concise direction on what to do, right? Then for designers appreciate creativity, right? So for example now, imagine, okay, you as a PM telling me as a product designer that the design is not giving. Or maybe you say something like, you're not feeling this design, right? There's nothing creativity about that because it's not giving. You are not feeling it. What is it that you are not feeling? What is not giving? You have to communicate effectively. Okay, so maybe you want to say something like, okay, maybe I think this typography is big, or maybe the font is too small, or the contrast is bad, or the color is not looking appealing or something. But you have to communicate in a way that they understand. And lastly, business team value results. That's just it. Your stakeholders, the only thing they want to listen to is results. So when you are communicating with stakeholders or your business team, you are telling them things like, okay, this has been done. This is yet to be done. This is the timeline to do this. So all this conscious feedback kind of portrays you as a professional product manager, right? It portrays you as someone that knows what he or she is doing, and it kind of helps you to build this kind of friendliness, right? Is that the right English? A kind of friendship feelings within the whole staff ecosystem, right? Then you should set clear expectation, right? Always set clear expectation. Make sure everyone knows the priorities and goals, right? It's not just only you, the PM, right, that needs to know the priorities and the goals, right? You have to carry everybody along, right? So, for example, maybe this week you want to focus on verification functionality, right? That is a priority for the week. But there are other stuff that needs to be done, right? Maybe you need to integrate some APIs, you need to set up some social media functionality. They are all things that you need to do, right? But what is the priority for that particular week or that particular time? So that in the end, by the time maybe the developer was focusing on implementing social media integration, whereas the priority is to get verification done so that maybe you want to present to your stakeholders. But now you did not communicate effectively. You just wrote all the required functionality for the week to be done for the week. You did not set priorities. Then it's reached demo meeting. The developer said what he or she have done for the week. You are now angry. Then fight starts. That goes. Whose fault? It's your fault because you did not communicate effectively. So assuming you communicate effectively and set clear expectation for that particular week or that particular month, the developers will know what they are working on, right? They know what to do first, what to do second, and what to do last, basically. Then you also need to be listening attentively or actively, right? Make space for feedback and concern. I think I've mentioned this before in this meeting, right? You have to make space for feedback and concerns, right? So you can't just maybe go to Jira, Trello, or whichever management system you are using, and you just vroom, you drop task, and then you just put landing page implementation 1 week, payment gateway integration 1 week. You just put it, you are just putting week for them, just putting it for them without even consulting them that, oh, dev guys, come on, right? For example, right, in a standard environment, there's what we call product requirement gathering meeting. So you have all these product requirements there. So your team are also there. So all of you will sit down on a round table if you work on site, or you sit down remotely if you work from home. Then you state this functionality. You give them speculated time to get this thing done. They will tell you the time that this thing is going to be achievable. You both find a kind of common ground and you set it, right? So that's the kind of carrying people along kind of system where people are giving feedback and their concerns, and you are also listening to their feedback and concern and implementing it. So you are not just a boss that just go on Jira, Trello, or Notion, or which other, I don't know, which other management system do PM use, please? Help me here. You can mute your mic and speak, please. Which other one have I not mentioned? Management system that PM
Jira.
use. Okay, I think I've mentioned Jira. I think from Jira, I think we have
Product
like
plan.
Slack.
Myro.
great. So you know all those platforms, you don't just go there and just put tasks for people. Let me shock you people. Do you know that sometimes when you people do these things, right? You might not know, but when you do this thing, and maybe a product designer like me just receive, you know, once you are doing it and you are mentioning someone, the person will be getting email, ton, and you are checking it, and you are just seeing like someone just writing unachievable deadline for you. You will just be angry, like you are literally boiling inside of you. Like if you see that PM, you can punch the PM. That's how crazy it can be. Because everything we just be doing, as your name is being mentioned on the board, you are getting notification. It's kind of mess up with our mental state of it that if you are working on anything at that particular time, you will first stop it because you will just be boiling with anger. But in a situation where maybe the PM have contacted me and we are in a meeting, or maybe he or she have seek my opinion about that particular functionality, how long it's going to get, and we both agree that okay, maybe the PM wants it to be done within 3 weeks, right? But after looking at it, the developer was like, this thing will be done within 4 weeks, maybe 5 weeks. So then the PM will be like, oh, can you like let's try and do it within 3 or 4 weeks? Then you guys can like meet each other in the middle, right? But not in a situation where you don't even understand the kind of effort it will require to get that things done, and you're just setting unreasonable deadlines for them. So that's why you have to make space for feedback and concern. So if you are doing this thing, you are kind of creating a very safe space for everybody. Everyone is happy and they are joyfully doing their task or getting their work done, right? So let's move on. Foster a collaborative culture, right? Foster a collaborative culture. This cannot be overemphasized, right? You cannot overemphasize this, right? Make everyone feel included. See, you should, okay, most time when people want to hire, they will say they want to hire what? A team player. Am I right? Right? Most companies, they be like they want to hire a team player. Yes or no? Let's try and be a bit communicative here so that we know that I'm not alone.
Yes, you are right.
Great. So everybody wants to hire somebody that knows how to play team, right? So when you are working as a PM, please, in the name of God and anything you believe in, make everyone feel included, right? It is a teamwork, not your work, right? Make everyone feel included. Encourage team members to contribute ideas. It is very important. Let everybody know that their voice will be heard, right? So there's something I do in my place of work, right? We know we cannot implement everybody's ideas. Some ideas can be even be funny, right? So I make sure that I let them know and even see that I created something I call idea archive. It's very simple. I use Google Doc. So I created an idea archive. You can call it idea box or anything. So any idea, right, that we know that we won't be able to implement, or maybe, to be sincere between me and you, maybe the idea not to make sense like that. You get. So instead of just throwing it out of the window and saying, we just, okay, don't worry, and this idea is amazing. No, you have to learn how to sweet talk people as a PM, shall you have to know how to switch talk people as a PM. You know, this idea is amazing, but based on the resources we have now, you know, we have to kind of put it in the idea archive. Then we can visit it later, you know, when we want to roll out version 2. So it gives them joy that, okay, yes, my voice is being heard, right? I am being carried along within the team. It's not like our PM is just pushing everything down our throats and just being bossy and the rest of that. So encourage team members to contribute ideas, right? Break silos, right? Break silos. So what do I mean by breaking silos? So basically, break silos, removing division between departments or group in an organization, right? So you are creating a family. That's how I call my team. I call them family. You are creating a family, right? So you have to find a way that there's no division within the team. If engineering department is facing a problem or a trouble, everybody is rallying around to help them solve that. Even if you don't know how to code, you to go to Google, use Grok, use Perplexity, use which other AI tool do we have? Guys, help me here. Are we still together? All right, are we still together? Can you still hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you. What did you ask?
Now we can
So,
hear you.
all right, so please, if you are not hearing me, let me know. And if I'm too fast, also let me know. All right, so I'm just like when you are building with a team, make sure that when a team member is facing a challenge, right, all other team members are involved, whether it's in development, whether it is in marketing, right? Even though they don't understand, but just make sure there is a collaborative effort. So sometimes we face issues in development team, and it will be somebody in design that'll be like, wow, I have a friend or I have someone that I've faced this kind of issue before. Let me ask him. And he will go ahead and ask the person, bring the solution. the developers will implement, and everybody is happy. So this kind of create a kind of collaborative culture. Everybody is up and running. So all your departments are connected. So you are operating a kind of B structure, right? So everybody is connected, right? Connect different departments and ensure smooth workflow, right? So your right hand knows what your left hand is doing. Your left eyes know what your right eye is doing. So everybody knows what is going on within the team. It's not like anybody is in the dark. Then also celebrate wins together. Small or big, there's no small win, right? Every win is a big win. So you have to recognize and appreciate milestone. So it will just be like these people are just working and working and working day and night. They don't even know, you are not even celebrating anything. You are not even making their heads swell. I've said it before. Learn how to switch talk as a product manager. It will really help you in managing your team. That's just one hack that I use. Sweet talking people, telling them when they are doing right. So when they are doing wrong and I talk, they will not see it as I'm doing too much. They will see it as, oh, it's normal thing that he does, right? So let's move on. Align on a common vision, right? Ensure everyone understand the why, right? Explain how their work impacts the bigger picture. So there's this way our brain works, right? So once we understand that this thing that I'm working on, if I don't deliver on time, or if I don't do it well, it will have impact on this. Most of the time, we will sit up and make sure. But when you don't even know the impact of what you are working on, you don't know the reason, you just know that you are given these tasks to do. They don't even tell you why. Nobody is communicating. You just say, okay, go and finish landing page. They don't even know the impact the landing page will have on the marketing or will have on getting investors to invest on that particular product. Then they will just be like, they will just be anyhow with the whole stuff. So that's why you have to explain how their work impacts the bigger picture, right? The final goal of the product. Then set shared goals, right? Set shared goals. So when team works together or towards a common purpose, they stay motivated. See, this motivation, all the very important. It is very important, right? When you are focusing on motivating your team member always. And one way to motivate is the fact that the team are working together towards a common purpose. They know this purpose. They know the reason why. So they are motivated. Every time you call them for stand-up meeting or for any meeting, they are always happy to join you because they have the picture of what you are trying to achieve stick in their brain. Like you are putting it right in front of them every time, every minute. So that kind of help them, right, to stay motivated, right? Then I said use storytelling. Use storytelling. So I have my reason for adding this one. There's a way you talk to people that kind of suit their heart that even if you call them by 10:30, 11, they will still answer you because they just enjoy having meeting with you, right? So bring the vision to life with compelling narratives. Don't just be a boring product manager. Read, learn about stuff, like stay conversant with what is going on in your world, in the tech world, right? Bring up conversations that are still related to tech, but not still techie, right? So you bring the visions to life with compelling narratives, like things that are interesting, that are not too niched, right? There are some meeting you attend, right? You just be sleeping because everything is just boring. Like somebody is just bringing all these big jargons. You can't even relate, right? You can't even relate. So it's just like back then in school when they teach us a lot of textbook stuff and we keep on sleeping in class. Because we can't picture this whole thing. So when you are building a product, we are building digital products, right? So all the product we are building is what users are going to use it. So most of these products are something that you can kind of picture and narrate in a real life scenario, right? So try as much as possible that when you are presenting an idea or a vision to your team member, always relate or tell them all these stuff in a compelling narration. I do this thing a lot and it works. Right? So I've kind of built this kind of peace environment for my team member that anytime I call them that, guy, Alpha, jump on a meeting, we need to discuss something. Are you busy? No, I'm not busy. Yeah, no reason. We jump on call, we talk for hours, we get things done, and everybody's happy, even happier than when they join the meeting, right? Then our next point, be a problem solver, not just a task master. So there's a difference between a task master and a problem solver. What do a task master do? What the task master do is he or she give you a task, right? You do the task, you tick it done or tick it undone. C'est fini. But a problem solver does not just give you task. He also follow up with the task to know whether you have any challenges, whether there's a problem, and you guys get things done faster that way. So there won't be back and forth because you are also on the task, right? As you are dishing out the task, you are following up with the task. So you don't just give your team member a task, then you go and sleep. That okay, I'm just a program manager. I've given out task on Jira or Trello. Let me go and rest. No, you follow up. Because these things now, it will end up with you guys having agreement and fight. But when you follow up right from the onset, you know what they're working on, how things are being done, right? So you remove blockers. So you kind of help team overcome obstacles instead of just assigning tasks, right? Help team overcome obstacles instead of just assigning tasks, right? So as they are facing challenges, you are part of the whole process. Or maybe they are trying to install a package, even though you don't even understand what the package is all about. You don't understand what they mean by NPM or any packages. You just know that they are trying to install a package and there's an issue. Be involved. You are not installing it with them, but at least you are also trying to follow up. But if you don't follow up, right, this is where the issue starts. It will reach when they are supposed to deliver. They will not say they are facing a challenge. You that you don't even understand the challenge, you don't even know that they have a challenge, or your own mindset. So we human beings will work on mindset, just like you're expecting to see something somewhere. And that thing that you did not see that in that place, right? Where you're supposed to see it, you did not see it there. You'll be angry that why is this thing not there? But if you don't have any expectation that this thing will be there, you won't even be angry if it's not there. That's how our brain kind of function. So once you've known that okay, there's an issue, there's a blocker already. When it's time to deliver and they are not able to deliver, you understand that okay, it's because of the blocker. But if you don't even know that there's a blocker, if you don't know that there's any issue, right? When it's time for them to deliver and they start telling you story, fight will start. I don't know, people that are already PM will understand what I'm trying to say. There will be a lot of argument that why are you not doing this? Why did you not deliver? So issues will start, and that is another way to start issues, right? With your team. So you have to basically learn to remove blockers, help team overcome obstacles instead of just assigning tasks. Then I also listed empower decision making. Empower decision making. Always give team members ownership of their areas. I understand the fact that we have a lot of people doing different stuff, right? Before they became or become a product manager, right? We have people that are in marketing, we have people that are in sales, we have developers that pivoted into product management, right? But that you're a developer does not mean that you have to be getting yourself involved fully in development work, right? Allow the owner of the job to do his job. Don't do their job for them, right? If you want to be everywhere at every time as a PM, it is going to be causing an issue with the whole infrastructure and the management of the team, right? So give team members ownership of their areas, give them their glory, right? Let them make decisions. You can advise, you can support, you can give insight, but don't just go into, or maybe a product designer before you became a product manager. Okay, for example, I'm a product designer, but I'm managing these products, right? I don't have any right to enter Figma. and start redesigning the design of my designer. It's not my job. My job is to manage and give advice or give review or actual design with you, right? So empower, give your team members the ownership of their areas, right? Then stay positive and solution oriented, right? You should always stay positive. It is very, very important. Positivity is very important. You are the PM, right? You are like the one in charge of all the sections. So imagine in a case where there's an issue and you are even the one rejecting, or you are the one that is feeling not motivated, right? So you should always keep the team motivated, even during challenges. So whatever the case or whatever the challenges is, you should try your best to stay on top and stay afloat. So just keep on reassuring that, okay, everything is going to be all right. Maybe we should do this. Go extra miles to sort for a solution to the problem that your team is having. Not that you just be complaining at the rest. No, do not complain. Go out there and source for solutions, right? So let's move on. So, okay, we have less than 10 minutes now. So I think this is sort of the last point, right? So spend quality time beyond work. So aside from work, have casual conversations with your team member. But not crying out loud. You guys are humans. Like, don't be too rigid. I think that's the right English. Don't be too professional as a PM. You don't have to be too overly professional, like professional, right? Have casual conversations, but respect boundaries, right? But have casual conversation, right? Talk about things beyond work to build personal connection. I repeated this one twice, but it's very important. You have to talk about things beyond work to build personal connection. As a PM, you have to find a way to have a personal connection with your team member, or else you are going to have a hard time managing them. That's a true fact. The best way to manage people as a PM is to also have a personal connection with them, aside from just work, right? Greet them, just with them. If you know their club, right? If they beat their club the other night, and if people enter stand-up meeting, jab them small, right? This thing kind of foster a kind of collaborative culture, right? And it builds trust within team member. So everything will not just be a kind of strict lifestyle that it just be like anytime you want to go for stand-up meeting, you just be thinking about your life, right? Team outing and virtual meetup. Strengthen relationship outside work discussion, right? So if you guys work remotely, you guys can be having virtual meetup. I do it at least once every month. So we have demo meeting every Friday. So on Friday, I'll just be like, okay, there's no demo meeting today. Let's just gist. Let's talk about life, right? We gist, we laugh, we crack jokes. Everybody is happy. And the next week, which is Monday, we return back to work fully energized, ready to push for the week. So you don't really necessarily need to be so worky every time. Have casual conversation, right? Recognize personal milestone. Celebrate your staff birthdays, their work anniversary, achievements, no matter how small. Even if you notice that on LinkedIn, they just did a course. It doesn't concern you, but they just did a course and they put it on LinkedIn. When they're meeting, congratulate them. It shows that you care about them. You're not just about them doing the work that you gave to them or anything. You care about their well-being. You care about their health, right? Create this kind of personal connection with them, right? So you are not AI robots, but humans, right? Act as one. We are all humans before we became techies, right? We are all humans before we became product designer, product manager, product whatever. So be human first, right? Show you care, show you love, show you have concern for them. You are not just after their life, for them to deliver on the task you gave them, but you are also after their well-being as your team member, right? That works with you. This will also help you in the long run as a PM, so that if there's time, because sincerely speaking, there will be time that you people will like have altercation, right? You guys will have issues and the rest. But since there's this personal conversation, personal relationship, or personal connection, you guys will argue and you still move on with it without holding any grudges or having any issue with each other, right? So these are things that little things you can be doing, right, to foster a kind of good working experience and to create a great relationship with your team member as a product manager. Then the last but not the least, lead by example, right? Lead by example. So I want to rush through this because I believe that most of us or some of us are working in organization already, and maybe we have some challenges or maybe some things that happen that you would like me to maybe chip in one or two things about, or maybe anybody in the team can help you to shed more light to it, right? So last but not least, we said lead by example, be reliable and accountable, right? If you expect commitment, show it first. Life is just like a mirror. If you smile at it, it will smile at you back. So that you're a PM doesn't mean you don't have to drop feedback, right? That you're a PM doesn't mean you don't have to be committed or reliable or accountable to your team members. Tell them what you are working on. Tell them what you have done. It also helps you to be accountable to them, right? And also stay humble and open to feedback. I think I've mentioned feedback like 4 times today. Don't be like Aland of City, right? Be humble. Don't be like Man City people, right? Be humble, right? Be humble and be open to feedback, right? A PM who listens is a PM people want to work with. Let me repeat that. A PM who listens is a PM people want to work with. If you don't listen, people will not want to work with you because you will be an addict to work with. So you have to make sure you are listening and you are attentive to your team members when they are giving their opinions. Show resilience, right? Show resilience, right? Be the calm in the storm when challenges arise, right? When there's an issue in the team, maybe there's a fight in the team, or maybe there's an opera, or maybe someone is angry or something. Just make sure that you always maintain your cool every time as the product manager, because you are more like the glue of the team. You are the one that is keeping the team together. You are the only one that is keeping everyone together. So make sure that you show resilience always, right? Be the calm in the storm when challenges arise, right? So, well, all said and done. You can still choose violence, right? So naturally, they promote peace for tech space. I believe all of us understand how how Nigeria tech Twitter can be. We don't promote peace. But if you don't want to take my small advices, you can still choose violence. It's a choice. Because they promote peace like that. Yep. All right, so any question of the day? Anyone have any question for me? So we have like 5 to 10 minutes to take questions. So maybe there's an issue you have at your place of work, maybe in the past, that you feel like maybe you could have handled it better than the way you did. Or maybe there's one challenge that you are going through as a PM in your work or in your place of work. Okay, Assis Fatimat, please speak.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Yeah, thank you very much for the class. It has been educative. Thank you. Right. So this is my question. In real life situation as a product manager, we are meant to guide the team in the process of building a product, right? So as a product manager that does not really have much knowledge about development, like the front end activities and the back end activities. And obviously, we are meant to assign tasks to all members of the team, regardless of the activity. So now this is my question. How do we assign tasks to a back-end developer or front-end developer when I don't really know much about what they are doing there? I don't know when they are to treat these, when they are to integrate a particular API or the like. So this is my question. how do we assign tasks to them? How do you do the next to assign to them? I don't know if you
Okay.
understand me.
Yes, I get you. So I think I mentioned in this section also that as a PM,
Can you
you
hear
do
me?
not. Yes, yes, yes. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me, please? Can anyone hear me?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
We
we
can
can
hear
hear
you.
you.
Okay. I want to know where the can you guys hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. So
Hi,
Fatima,
can anyone hear me, please?
is it from my side or Fatima's side?
I really do not know. But it got to a point I didn't hear anything from anyone.
Okay, I think that's from
Yes,
your
we can hear you, but Ifeoluwa and Fatima, we can hear you.
okay. So let me to answer your question, right? So as a PM, right, you don't just limit yourself to the PM knowledge you have. So even me as a product designer, there are some products that I will want to build, and we have to first go and learn about the whole process. What is required to build that product? Who is working on what? Who am I to reach out to for what? So as a PM, when you're working on a product, right, you first understand that product. Then you also understand the stacks that are involved in that will be needed with that product. So by the time we are done with all this research, we will know who is working on what and what. And I think this thing will also be a good help to you as a PM. Have basic understanding of what all these people are working on. Right. So for example, as a PM, if I ask you who is working on the UI implementation of a design, you should be able to answer me that that would be for the front end developer. But what front end developer do? So you have to also learn about the roles of these people and understand the roles they play in building a product. So you should understand that the front end developer implements designs, right? They are the one that works with anything you are seeing on the front end on the live website. That's the work of the front end developer. Now, for the back end developer, you should also understand that they are the ones that work with anything that have to do with functionality, right? These are just like a kind of summary of what, but you need to read about all this stuff. So just go online, Google roles of front-end developer, roles of back-end developers, right? So by the time you understand the roles of front-end developer, the roles of back-end developer, the roles of software testers, right? You know when they will come in your product development phase or your product building. So you know when the first person that works on the product is the product designer. So when the product designer done, you know that what is next is for them to start implementing the design that is being done. So who is working on this? That should be the front-end developer or the front-end engineer, right? So anything that has to do with functionality, APIs building, back-end work, that's work of the back-end developer. And when they are done building the product, who is testing this product? That's your software tester's work. Fatima, I don't know if I'm answering your question.
Yes, yes, please. I'm guessing you.
So once you understand their roles, that's why I said it is very important. I think I mentioned it there that understand their roles and challenges. Because if you don't understand their roles, you might not even know who is supposed to work on a particular thing, and you go and be asking someone else. Say it next.
Yes, 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 please.
I hope I answered your question right.
Yes, you did. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Okay, so sorry, I have another one. I have another question, please.
Please go on.
Right. So after building the products, after the engineers are done with their products, with their own job on the product, so is it a must to use to make use of software testers? Like, can the team members test the products without software testers?
Okay, so it depends. It depends on a lot of things. So we have UI testing. We have I think we have UI testing. We have technical testing. So what UI testing does is that they test to make sure that the there's this thing that people do say that what I ordered versus what I get. So what designer design
Okay.
versus what developer, front-end developer implemented. That's what we call UI testing. So you make sure that what they design is what the front-end developer implemented, because those guys can be funny sometimes. They can just go and pick one template from anywhere, or copy one code from somewhere and implement for you. So we do what we call UI testing. So anyone can do UI testing. You as PM, anyone that can see, that can compare something can do UI testing. Just look at A, look at B, make sure that it is what is in A that was implemented in B. That's UI testing. But we have functional testing. So that's where software tester comes in. So they write test cases. They write they create test environments. They test. So, and this thing is not for every product. There are some products that you don't really need much technical testing, because it's just like when you build a website, you don't need any technical testing. When the thing is working, you can see it's working. Email is sending. This one is fine. But when you are building day-to-day product, like maybe, for example, in my company now, we are building a writing application. We need software testers to make sure that all these APIs are functioning well. So they have to test all the API, make sure that call is going, make sure that data is dropping where it's supposed to drop, make sure that the map API integration is working effectively. So it depends on the product you are testing. This product building is not like a one-way road, right? It's diverse. It depends on the problem you are solving. That's what will determine the approach you are going to take. So if it's just a simple website, a UI tester, and anybody can be a UI tester. Product manager can do it. Product designer can do it. Even the developer can do it himself, looking at what he implemented and what was designed. So for in-depth software testing, like technical testing, API testing, and the rest of that, you need the professional software tester for that.
So okay, thank you. Although I have another question, but then let's another person has question too.
Okay, so do anyone else have any question, or should Fatima continue with her question? Okay, you can continue, Fatima. Why will?
All right, thank you. So the other question I have is that.
Sorry. So, and if you can't talk, you can text your question, like drop it in the chat section. You can drop your question in the chat section if you don't want to unmute your mic. All right, Fatima, please continue.
Okay, thank you. Now, the question I have is on giving due dates for task. It's still on the development team, because maybe because that's the issue I'm facing at the moment, right? So
Okay.
assigning tasks to them and adding due dates for them. How do I assign tasks to them and put realistic dates and add realistic due dates for them?
All right. So this is
so that in a way that I would not assign a task and assign a shorter date for a task that is going to take a longer period, and vice versa.
All right. So this can be a bit precise. It says that you have timeline for the project, right?
Yeah.
All right. And do you guys have product gathering meeting? Product requirement gathering.
Yeah.
Meeting? All right. So, and they all know the timeline you have for the project, right?
Yeah.
All right. So since everybody is carried along on the timeline for the project and they know when they're supposed to deliver the project, what you just do is you tell them, guys, we are supposed to deliver this product in 1 month. These are the functionality. This. Maybe landing page design. How long do you think it's going to take you? Right. So they will answer you 1 day, 2 days, and those guys can be funny sometimes.
I didn't get that, please.
All right. So, for example, you tell them to implement this landing page or to design this landing page. You ask them directly, how long do you think it's going to take you? They will give you the time that is comfortable for them. They divide it by 2. So if they give you, if they say they will do it in 2 days, Tell them, ask them, don't tell them, ask them that is it possible for them to do it in one day, and then give them the reason, right? So it's just more like a dialogue, right? They already know the deadline for the project, right? And they know that you people are supposed to deliver. So
Okay.
just tell them that based on the deadline for this project, can we get this thing done? Because they will always give you a day that is comfortable
Okay.
for them.
All right. Thank you. Although the network is breaking, but then I think I'm able to get few points.
All right, great. So do we have any other question?
Thank you very much.
All right, you're welcome. Fatima. So if there's no other question, I think I'm going to hand over to Favor to round off the meeting, and then we can call it.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Fatima, for asking those beautiful questions. And thank you very much, Ifeoluwa, for honoring the invitation and for joining us on today's product session. A lot of valuable insights were shared, and I was able to note down one or two. And I'm sure every one of us here has been able to learn new things. Yes. Okay. So I think this is where we say good night. And this is where we wrap up the session. And thank you everyone for joining us on today's product session. See you again next week, 7 p.m. Another time to learn and gain more about product management. Do enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye. Good
Bye.
night.